I'm Brian Christner, and this is The Byte, a bite-sized podcast about containers, cloud, and tech. Welcome back to a new episode of The Byte. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Amazon's open source initiative and their latest blog article, Keeping Open Source Open. And this whole article was kicked off because of a recent trouble in the ecosystem with a company called Elastic. Elastic is responsible for Elasticsearch. So Elastic, Logstash, and Kibana, the Elk stack. And it's basically one of the central tools in the developer tool set. Now, the issue is as Elastic start developing this, they've been creeping in enterprise code into the open source space. And it's been difficult to basically see the difference between the open source and enterprise, and it looks like it's going more enterprisey. So there's a fear in the community that the product will just disappear. Now, Amazon, they've gone from being a very closed source company for a long time, and now they're contributing more and more back to open source. I just checked their GitHub repo, and they have, as of today, 134 repositories that they manage. And I was scrolling through, and I noticed a lot of them are updated within the last few hours or a couple of days. So it's quite impressive that they are actually eating their own dog food, as they say. So they're contributing a lot back to the open source community. And in this article that they wrote, they said, whatever open source tools they consume, they want to make sure they contribute back to ensure that the ecosystem lives on and that the products live on as well. So, they're part of the Apache Foundation. They sponsor KubeCon and then some different conferences. So they're really involved in the community, so to say. Now, Elasticsearch, what they've been doing, like I said, it's a central tool for coders. And in 2018, it was noticed in the community that non-open source code was creeping into the code base. Now, Amazon and Elastic met together, and they tried to work out a deal where maybe Amazon can dedicate resources to the project to really ensure that the project remained open. Because Amazon customers, a bunch of cloud customers were concerned about the state of Elasticsearch, the Elk stack. Because so many people are using it, if it goes non-open source, what happens, right? People probably will stay on it and won't get any updates, and the product will just eventually die. So what the deal was is Amazon teamed up with Expedia, Netflix, and some other companies and created an open distro for Elasticsearch. So you can go out there. It's basically a fork of the code base that was unaltered before all the enterprise codes crept in. And I really see that everything will start going this way. So this open distro for Elasticsearch, we'll start trying it here shortly, but they're putting a lot of effort into it. Amazon has resources dedicated, Netflix. And I wouldn't doubt that this becomes the new de facto standard, because if it's 100% open source as they claim it to be, and Elasticsearch goes more enterprise, Elasticsearch might just eventually become an enterprise company and close off open source now that Amazon has taken over the project. So it'll be interesting to see how this hashes out. But I was very happy to see the backing that Amazon puts into open source, their commitment to the open source community, and also how they were able to get other companies involved in the project. So, Netflix is no small player. So they want to make sure that Elasticsearch is freely open for everyone and their users. So they are going to contribute resource to it. Expedia, and they want to make sure the licensing around Open Distro is all Apache 2 licensing. So it's very open, it's easy to reuse and resupport. And they're adding a lot of features to it already. If you look into it, there's a lot of things that I was already impressed with. They've added some enterprise-grade features. They've put some nice Active Directory and OpenID integrations, alerting, and they're putting some more performance analyzers and stuff like this. So it's something to watch. Like I said, we're going to try it out, and we're going to probably put it on a couple customer sites just as a proof of concept to see if it works, and I'll keep everybody posted how it goes. If you want the links, it is opendistro.github.io. I'll put it in the show notes, and I'll put the article Keeping Open Source Open in the show notes as well. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Byte. You can find the show notes at thebyte.io and follow me on Twitter at IDoMyOwnTricks.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.